We survived our brush with our first tropical storm of the year. Debbie, she's up in Georgia, and the Carolinas now. We have this one last little feeder band going through part of Florida, like through down south of where I am, through Orlando. They were just saying on the morning news there's a tornado warning. Little rotation heading over toward Mims and Titusville or something, I guess. But life is good. It's going to pull in some dry air behind it for the next couple of days. Kind of breezy. Won't be bad delivering mail. So what does your Filipina really want? Everybody out there, videos, what a Filipina wants from you. But I think a lot of people who have been involved in actual relationships with Filipinas, especially any kind of a long-term relationship that's actually been some kind of a success, instead of just, giving expert advice on YouTube on how to date people, will tell you that the thing your Filipina really wants is to see you happy, That's the one thing they don't like. Especially a lot of Americans who swear all the time, things like that. Or some of us, it's just a way of expressing ourselves. We don't really mean anything by it. But, for people from the Philippines, where a lot of them don't really swear too much, it's kind of like a shock to their system. They automatically think that, oh, you must be really mad about something, instead of just, they don't realize it's just the way we talk. And even when they do realize it, still it kind of bothers them. But what they really want to see is that you look happy and you seem happy in your relationship, in anything. They look at your face. I don't know, I know people have told me through the years, that I have resting bitch face. And sometimes when I'm just thinking intensely about something, and just I'm one of those people that I've got a really emotional side and creative side, as a writer and a guitar player and everything. And on the other hand, I've also got a very precise, methodical, meticulous side when I'm focused on something that just very intense. So sometimes I'll just be thinking about something, and people are like, why are you mad? And I want to kill somebody or something. So you have to watch things like that. Those are little things that you don't always think about. But I remember one time when my wife was still over in the Philippines, and I think we were still just engaged at the time, and I was talking to her, video chatting, and she was like, wow, you look so happy today, And that's what they want to see. They want to see that you're happy. If they pick up on those things, your mood is going to influence her mood all the time. They just don't like to hear you, if you're you seem like you're upset about something or bitching about something, even just, kind of under your breath to yourself or whatever. They pick up on that. They're very sensitive to those things. And then it puts them in a bad mood. If you're anxious and stressed out about something, if you're mad about something, or, I know sometimes with my wife, I'll start talking about something, and, even if it's not something as far as me being mad or something, just too much intense crap about stuff, and whether it's politics or the economy or any subject, it's just please, my head hurts right now. Don't want to have too much thinking about things sometimes whenever they're very tired, been working all day or whatever, and they want to be able to chill and just cut loose. And that's something you have to remember, that your mood is going to seriously affect whether or not they're happy. So you need to be happy. Obviously, anytime that you're in a relationship with someone, you want to think that the other person is enjoying it, and that you being in that person's life is making their life happy, and that they are having kind of life they want to have. And when they're always acting unhappy and bitching and, just seeming grumpy or whatever, you wonder, well, why? Is it me? Aren't they happy? And that's probably the best piece of advice that I could give someone if you're involved with a Filipina. And that's to be happy, and not just be happy, but you have to let them see that you're happy. And try to control yourself with the swearing, and when even if you are stressed about something, you try not to show it too much. Sometimes, you want them to, maybe it's a serious situation that you're dealing with or whatever, and you need them to realize too how serious it is, but you also have to understand that your responsibility in that relationship is to take care of their emotional health and well-being. And you have to understand that they aren't interested in being all stressed out all the time about things. Oh man, I'm gonna miss the lights. Had to wait, try and get around that person turning to Starbucks. But that would be the biggest piece of advice, You get all these people online talking about, dating Filipinas and stuff. And they always want to talk about the cool sounding stuff that makes them sound like a dating expert or some kind of a Romeo, And they don't really tell you the practical stuff, the things that are actually important. Because, what your girlfriend, your fiance, your wife, whoever is really looking for is to know that you're happy. And all these people that are always stressing out about, she wants something from me, or I got to make sure she doesn't take too much of my money and things like that, always trying to keep her at arm's distance and kind of keep a buffer there, like a lot of guys do, especially the guys who aren't really serious about anything except having some fun. That's the one thing that they miss, that they pass over, that's really the most important, is that they want to know that you're happy. And not that just you're, happy in terms of, wow, I'm hanging out with a hot chick for, some limited amount of time and having fun with her, but that, in terms of having an actual real relationship. And then if you are actually in an adult relationship and living with someone, especially if you're married, you have to think about, the just typical adult responsibilities of life. You want to make your wife happy, probably it's not going to be any kind of romantic, sexual thing or taking her someplace fancy. It might just be getting up off your butt and turning off the TV and maybe doing the dishes when they need done after she has worked all day cooking and stuff, things like that. That just part of two people living together and having a family, all those practical everyday things. It's not like some big romantic gesture, but it's just taking care of things and helping her when you see that she is stressed about something or not feeling well or whatever. Instead of just leaving everything that you think should be, women's work or something to her, you pitch in and help. I remember one time when I was a little kid, we lived out in the country. Even when we were little, after dinner every night, my brother and I had to wash the dishes, and we had to take turns doing, one of us would wash, and then the other one would rinse them and put them in the drainer, and then the next day it would be the opposite. We'd switch. We would stand up on chairs in front of the sink and do it when we were too small to reach the sink and everything. So that was our job. And one time they were wondering where I was. I was taking so long, and I was supposed to be out helping my brother do the dishes. And then I came out of the bathroom and had like curlers, like my mom's curlers in my hair. This is obviously back when I actually had hair. And I said, if I'm going to do woman's work, I'm going to look like a woman, And, I had a home ec teacher at one time in high school or junior high. You know, she used to be like, she's like, you know, most guys, you know, they just deal with it, but you just don't seem happy in home ec, you know. And so I guess I wanted to do the more manly, outdoorsy stuff instead of, you know, sit there at the sewing machine making a pair of swimming trunks and all of that, and learning how to cook. I do wish I still had the recipe we made for walnut coffee cakes, though, from those canned biscuits. Wish I still had that, because those were pretty yummy. So I can't say the home ec was useless for me, but you kind of have to avoid that, as we all learn when we get involved in real world relationships, you know. And especially if you're living on your own anyways, you're going to end up doing a lot of that stuff. So most of us have learned to do it. And I know I spent years and years living on my own and having to go and do all my laundry and stuff, especially with my postal uniforms and stuff, and having to iron clothes. And so that's something that all of us kind of sometimes rebel against, having to do. You know, nobody wants to do all that housework, and that includes the wife, you know. Women aren't any different than men, though. Certainly I have to say that my wife is, she loves taking care of me. You know, you find a good woman from the Philippines, they've definitely learned how to take care of a family and take care of people, you know. They cook, they know how to cook, they know how to look after people. They've got a lot of experience taking care of other people in their own families and being part of big family gatherings where everybody's cooking, and that's all a big part of their whole lifestyle, you know. So you find a good woman from the Philippines, you're going to be well taken care of, but you have to take care of her too, and especially emotionally. You need to let her see that all that stuff she does for you, that you do appreciate it, and that she is making you happy. You know, I remember the first time when I was going over to the Philippines after I had just first met my wife. At the time, you know, we had just been talking for a little bit online, and I was going back over there to the Philippines for a few weeks, and we decided, you know, we were going to get together, and I was talking about different places we could go, or, you know, and maybe things we could eat. And my wife was like, you know, she's like, I can cook too, you know. And so from the start of my relationship with her, went back over from Manila to Mindanao to hang out with her family. And it's always people cooking, and it's just a big part of the family tradition. You know, everybody pitches in and making things, and the whole process of doing all that, and everybody hanging out and being happy and getting together as a family and gossiping and cooking together, that's all a very big part of the culture. So you're going to be well taken care of if you find a good woman from the Philippines, but you have to let her see you appreciate it, and that, you know, you don't just sit around being, you know, like glum faced and you know, or especially if you're hanging out with other friends, you know, like other expats or whatever, other people, or if you're here in America just hanging out with the other guys, don't just act like you take it for granted, you know. So, you know, first of all, be happy and show her that you're happy, and also be appreciative. And the thing is, with both of those, it's not just about feeling it, it's about showing it, you know. You need to let her see that you really are happy. So have a good day.